how can I help? The first few president's messages that you came out, that you saw, came from this individual. Moved to Florida and continued to help us, continued to tell our story. So when you saw us talk about Trayvon Martin, she was on the ground there when the issues were going down. And you hear us talk about issues that are going on in the White House. She helped us tell that story because she spent a couple of years working on behalf of African American businesses in the White House. I want to invite up and show some love to one of my very, very, very good friends, Sonia Montgomery. Come on up, Sonia. On behalf of U.S. Black Chamber, we want to just give you a little time.
Well, this is very impressive. Thank you very much, Ron. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it today. I didn't call. I didn't get a chance to confirm my travel arrangements with the Chamber, but it's just such a blessing to be here. You know, I remember Ron hitting the ground and getting started. It was never about him. It was always about my chambers, my people, my board, and that was impressive for me. And, you know, we hadn't even worked out what a contract was. He just knew that he wanted to come here and he wanted to excel for not just the Chamber, the U.S. Black Chamber, but the entire country, African Americans. Everything was about my people, our people. You know, someone just said, you know, I have a Ron story. I got a lot of Ron stories. A lot of them. And, you know, as I'm walking around, I'm looking at the name tag. Some of you, I'm looking, I'm like, oh yeah, that's her. That's him. So, it's all good though. It's all good. I'm not going to talk too much. The fact that I didn't confirm and my name is imprinted here, I know that he thought about me before he saw me. So thank you, Ron. Thank you for the Chamber. And if there's anything that I can continue to do for you, I most definitely will. Thank you.
All right. She talks about the Ron stories, where everyone on this panel got a different Ron story. To my immediate left is one of my closest friends. I tell this story all the time. I moved to Phoenix, Arizona. I didn't know a soul. I came from Oakland, California, where everybody knew everybody. It was a black community, and I say it all the time. If it was something that went down, black folks had something to do with it. School board, everybody was African American. But when you go to Phoenix, it's a handful of us. But the difference is they really looked out for each other. I asked our city councilman, I said, hey man, I got 2 sons. I was a single dad. My wife had just passed, and I said I was looking for a school. And he said, well, the best school district is about 30 minutes away. So I'm driving, trying to find a school. I ended up getting lost going to another school. Ended up enrolling my sons at this school, and there was one other black kid. And it just so happens to be that his son, that son's name was Clovis Campbell III, better known as Trey. Because of that relationship with my son and his son, we are now best friends. Mr. Clovis Campbell, who is the president of the Arizona Informant, and more importantly is now the new chairman of the board for the NNPA newspaper, which is 200 black newspapers across the country. And as they say in Phoenix, 98% of the news that they cover does not get covered anywhere else in here. Mr. Clovis Campbell. Those of you that have been there this week have seen this young lady running around with her crew and understand that what she is doing, she's doing it out of labor of love. One of my best friends, Stan Taylor, came and said, man, you got to meet this sister, man. She's got the technology that they use in over Olympics, man. She is cutting edge, and she really, really is. AMP TV is telling the stories of African Americans that we don't get a chance to have on TV. They're covering the stories. They will come to your events, and if you have an opportunity to go outside and see what she's doing, it's second to none. We have to look at creative ways of getting our messages out. And media is important. Television is even more important. So we thank Julia and what she's doing for us, as well as the rest of the African Americans across the country that will be sharing this week, as well as recording this so that it can be seen. Yeah. Next young lady, I'm from Oakland, and there was one good high school. We had a lot of high schools. We had one good high school.
Between that.
And she happened to be at that high school, the same high school that I went to before I got kicked out. She was still there. She finished college and she said, you know, I think I want to be an entrepreneur. And in Oakland, I was fairly well known as a pretty decent entrepreneur. I had a little small janitorial service, and she says, I think I want to go in the janitorial business. And I said, girl, please. I said, I tell you what, you come work for me for 6 weeks, and at the end of that 6 weeks, you still say you want to go into the janitorial business, I got you.
That's why I'm in the TV business today.
She ended up working for me, and we have had a great relationship. She wears a lot of titles, lots of influence, and I am pleased to make a public announcement today of a new title that she has. She was formerly at CNN. There ain't many African Americans at CNN.
I can say that now.
But as of today, she is the new executive VP at a station that we all know and love, Centric, which is owned by Viacom and BET.
Of sales.
Of sales. Now, you cannot have a conversation in America about African Americans when it comes to communications unless you have some folks that have been there for years and years and years that know about communications from print, media, social media, and really understand how to do it effectively. So we went to the guru himself, Mr. George Curry, my good friend.